on the ground after the mission.
And good afternoon, Nick Weig here with you as we are coming on the streaming channels now, as we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. The severe thunderstorm warning is well to the south of the Omaha metro area. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that area as these thunderstorms have been intensifying over the last hour here across southeastern Nebraska. There you see the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties. The primary threats for the severe thunderstorm warning are 1-inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And this is the first of what could be several warnings as the thunderstorms could continue to develop rapidly across southeast Nebraska, northwest Missouri, and southwest Iowa. We'll take a closer look here at this cell. You can see the strongest portion of the storm right now just north of the Kansas-Nebraska border, southeast of Humboldt. We'll go ahead and put a hail tracker on that. We were monitoring this a short time ago, and what we were seeing a developing hail core in this, and it appears it has certainly grown in size. And so far, no confirmed reports of hail being reported on the ground right now, but there you see that there has been intensifying signals of a hail core you see there in the purples in that hail detection system. So again, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon, so about another 35 minutes. Falls City, Rouleau, Schubert, Verdon, all in the path of this storm as it's making its way off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour is what we're hearing. 40 miles per hour to the northeast as it is approaching the Missouri River between Nebraska and Missouri. We also need to point out that a tornado watch has been issued for not these counties, actually for these counties rather, as these storms continue to push off to the northeast. We'll go ahead and get the information for you on that as well. This was just issued a short time ago. Tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. This does include Adams, Buchanan, Des Moines, McDonough counties, as well as several others in southwest Iowa, northwest Missouri. Right now it does not include any of the counties in Nebraska, but part of the reason for that is the location of these storms and also the dynamics that they're dealing with. If you're joining us in the Omaha metro area, you can certainly tell it does not feel like a thunderstorm kind of day as cold weather and misty weather has just lingered over the metro area all day long. Temperatures have remained well below pleasant in the 30s and 40s. But to our south and not very far, temperatures are much higher in the 60s and 70s as a surge of warm air is coming up from the south. It's just not going to make it up to the Omaha metro area. So that's why the severe risk is practically zero for the metro area, but other parts of our viewing area, including Falls City, as we zoom in here, Schubert in the path of this storm as well. This area not under the tornado watch, but all counties east and northeast of this warning are under that severe or tornado watch again until 10 o'clock this evening. But right now, the only warning in our area that we are monitoring is this severe thunderstorm warning. Get that information back up for you for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon. The severe thunderstorm was located about 5 miles southwest of Dawson, 11 miles northwest of Sabatha, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Primary threats, quarter-sized hail, so about 1 inch in diameter, and 60 mile per hour winds. Hail that big is capable of producing damage to vehicles or any other materials left outside. And of course, those winds are capable of bringing down trees and power lines. So no confirmation on the ground of any severe weather, but again, we are monitoring this situation, and we will continue streaming here on our social media channel, as well as on our 24/7 weather channel for the very latest on this severe weather event in far southeastern Nebraska. We're also going to try and pull up some traffic cams if we can find any in that area for you. We will see what we can find in the area. Not a lot of cameras from the Nebraska DOT in that area. We do have one in the general vicinity. We'll see if that one is working. Looks like the camera is being spun around, but this is, I believe, just southeast of the warned storm. This could we could see something on this camera later, so we'll go ahead and pull this up. May have lost the camera here momentarily. Yeah, not seeing anything on the camera right now. It is, I believe it is southeast of the thunderstorm that we are tracking, but we will continue to keep an eye on that camera for you in case we see anything happening in that area during this severe thunderstorm warning. For right now, though, we'll stay on the radar here. Let's go ahead and check out the loop here. As you see where that warning and that tornado watch are now in effect, you see that is where the thunderstorms have been developing along and in front of a cold front, which is pushing through our area right now to our south and west. Omaha is going to stay on the cold side of this. We do see some showers and thunderstorms developing that will push through the metro area, but we do not expect, outside of maybe some small hail, we don't expect those to be any major severe threat. We could see some isolated hail reports, but the primary threat, again, is going to be to our south and east of the metro area, but we are monitoring that for the current threats to our area. So just to recap here, we'll come over into our area. There you see the tornado watch that's in effect For northwest Missouri, for just a slight portion of our viewing area, as well as in southwest Iowa, that tornado watch will remain in effect until 10 o'clock. We do expect additional thunderstorms to develop over the next few hours that could impact portions of our viewing area, and that is what we are monitoring right now. Of course, the primary threat right now is that severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for the greater Falls City area. This does include Nemaha and Richardson counties. You can see the core of that storm there pushing off to the northeast now at 40 miles per hour. We're going to go ahead and put a hail tracker on that and see what the radar is detecting in that storm. And there you see a robust hail core, but not sure if it has reached severe limits on the ground. It is detecting hail upwards of about 0.7 of an inch aloft. Now, that doesn't mean it's hitting the ground, but the National Weather Service, obviously with the dynamics in the air right now, is concerned that this could rapidly intensify. Fortunately, not a heavily populated area, but it is passing by Humboldt and is approaching Verdon right now on a path towards Schubert as well. Falls City right now looks to be safe from this storm, but obviously they can continue to develop to the southwest. That's why you see that expanded area of that severe thunderstorm warning as these storms have continued to develop. But again, that is the main threat right now. We're also monitoring this cell north of Auburn, between Auburn and Julian. This is another area of concern that could produce some hail. But right now, no warning on that cell just yet, just our one warning for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon for the severe thunderstorm you see there right along Highway 75 east of Humboldt. And that is the one that we are monitoring right now. Again, the Omaha metro area should be experiencing some showers, maybe some isolated thunderstorms here in the near future. We'll go ahead and give you a look at the metro here very quickly. As we come up here, you see some showers and thunderstorms west of Millard and pushing through the area. Not a lot of lightning that we're detecting with this right now. That's a bit of the good news, but there is still the potential of some small hail developing, even though we are on the cold side of this storm system. But right now, not really seeing any major indications of any hail. Not surprising, but because we are on the cold side of this storm system with a little bit of instability, we could see some small, perhaps some pea-sized hail or maybe a little bit larger in the metro area. Let's back out now to the rest of the area, and we'll go back down now to our severe thunderstorm warning. Again, in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties. There you see Falls City. Hopefully, without any additional development, Falls City will miss this particular storm, but there is still the risk of additional development as the storm continues to push off to the northeast. Not really getting any strong indications that this storm system is maintaining intensity too well. It appears to be what we call elevated, and that is a thunderstorm that can easily produce some large hail. As you see, that hail core has intensified in the last few radar sweeps, but they don't really appear to be very surface-based quite yet. That would raise additional concern for possible tornadic development. That is expected to happen at some point this afternoon, but the hope for our area is that that will happen once the system has already pushed off to our east. Again, you see there radar now detecting hail size upwards of 1 inch in diameter aloft. Again, that does not mean that hail is reaching the ground, but the Weather Service will be monitoring any reports in the area, and we will pass those along to you if they do come in. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on our 24/7 streaming channel as well as on our social media feeds. We are tracking a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties. We also have a tornado watch that is now in effect for portions of our counties in northwest Missouri and southwest Iowa. This tornado watch is in effect until 10 o'clock this evening, but the threat should be over before that time. We do still have the threat in this area of showers and thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes over the next few hours. Right now, just west of that tornado watch, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for portions of Nemaha and Richardson counties. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that storm for you. And right now we do see a developing hail core that has gained intensity over the last 10 or 15 minutes. And this warning will remain in effect until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Let's go ahead and put a hail detector on that once again. There you see that hail core upwards of 1 inch diameter in that brighter blue color you see there. That is 1 inch diameter hail being detected aloft. That does not mean that that hail is reaching the ground, but that is in the general vicinity of Verdon and heading for Schubert. So people in those areas, if you have any sensitive items, they need to be protected, as 1 inch diameter hail, if it falls, would be capable of causing dents and dings and other damage to vehicles and other items left outside. Here's another look at live first alert radar as you see that storm pushing off to the northeast at an estimated 40 miles per hour right now. We are monitoring any potential reports of issues in that area. You do see a little bit of back building. So Falls City, although this particular cell is not headed your way, there is still the risk of additional development over the next 20 minutes or so. So not completely out of the woods yet, but this particular storm will pass you by. We're just continuing to see additional development to the south and west throughout the duration of this thunderstorm warning, and we are expecting more thunderstorms to develop as it continues to push off to the north and east. The only question right now is whether or not it will impact much of our viewing area. Sandy on YouTube asking if there's going to be a tornado in Omaha today. I would say with pretty strong confidence that no, Omaha is not going to see a tornado today. There is really no risk for severe weather outside of maybe an isolated hail event with some showers and thunderstorms about to push through the metro area. But again, if you've stepped outside, it does not feel anything like spring out there. We're hovering in the 30s and 40s, and it's misty and dreary, and the push of warm air coming from the south is simply not going to make it this far to the north before this storm system pushes off to the east. So no, the severe weather threat for the Omaha metro area is very low. No expectation of any issues with tornadoes or any kind of widespread destructive winds or hail, just an isolated chance of some small hail in the Omaha metro area. We've got about 20 minutes left now in our severe thunderstorm warning for Nemaha and Richardson counties. This is for the thunderstorm you see on your screen right there, capable of producing. It appears the primary threat right now is a large damaging hail. Last check here, we were getting a growing hail core you see there in that brighter color there of a 1 inch diameter hail detected near Verdon. 1 inch diameter hail detected. Again, that is aloft. That does not mean it is reaching the ground, but there could still be some hail falling in that area, hopefully passing just north of Verdon. But that area is the greater concern, especially as it's heading towards Schubert. People in that area already getting some pretty good rain showers, so the time is about run out to protect anything left outside from potential hail falling in your area. Again, this is part of a much larger system that we're monitoring moving through the upper Midwest. The greater threat is going to be largely to the east of our area later this afternoon and evening. There you see a pair of severe thunderstorm alerts issued, a tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock for portions of southern Iowa, northwest Missouri, and now a severe thunderstorm watch issued for the greater Kansas City area. Watches are going to be stretching all the way down to Texas already, and we also have a significant ice and snow event occurring to our north, all part of the same system. And I guess fortunately for the Omaha Metro, we're kind of stuck in the middle and not expecting any major weather impacts today from this severe weather and winter weather event to our north. But as you can see there are some showers and thunderstorms developing to the west of Omaha that could produce some small hail. But right now, no major concerns for any severe weather in the Omaha metro area. That is expected to remain to our south and east as the storm system moves through. But we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 10 o'clock, or excuse me, until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tornado watch to its east is in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. Let's go back now to live first alert radar to get a better look at that storm system. And you can see the hail core certainly appears to be maintaining its intensity. Just want to take a quick look at the potential winds in this. We do see looks like a decent shot of inflow there that could be some strong wind gusts in the greater Verdon area. We'll obviously be monitoring this in this part of southeast Nebraska. Conditions are very favorable for the development of supercells capable of producing tornadoes. Right now, no rotation detected on radar right now, but certainly some strong wind gusts in the area of that hail. As we switch over to the hail detector, there you see that core has kind of collapsed a little bit. That could be an indication that it has dropped some of that larger hail. But again, right now, fortunately, it is over a largely rural area, and so reports are really not coming in right now. But again, we're still monitoring the threat of some strong wind gusts on the leading edge of the storm, and then just in that those darker purple areas you see there, that is the likely location of a hail core capable of producing hail up to 1 inch in diameter. Again, Nick Weig here with you from the Alert Center here at First Alert 6 in Omaha. We are monitoring this severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, getting some indications in this cell that there is potentially some large hail falling in the area where you see those purples and darker reds, upwards of 1 inch in diameter. Also getting some indications as you see them shave that thunderstorm warning back a little bit there in an update. Also getting some indications of potentially some strong wind gusts embedded in this storm system. So another thing to concern about. We're also keeping an eye out for potential rotation in this storm as we're getting this brighter green color, potentially indicating perhaps the beginnings of some slight rotation. The conditions in southeast Nebraska are conducive for tornadic development, but we are not seeing any clear indicators of that right now. So the primary threats with this severe thunderstorm is large hail and strong damaging winds. We're going to back out here and put a tracker on this for you. And there you see the estimated time of arrival for Schubert in about 12 minutes at 2:58. See if we've got a new scan of the hail core there. There you see a much more pronounced hail signature coming in on this storm system. And pretty large area of 1 inch diameter hail being detected in that severe thunderstorm. So a growing indication in the greater Verdon area that large hail has been falling, and that is unfortunately heading very near or right on track for Schubert. So people living in that area need to be prepared for some large hail that could be falling here shortly. those hail scans do generally run a little bit behind. So judging by the radar scans right now, I would say that hail core is rapidly approaching Schubert and is knocking on the door right now. If anybody in that area, this would be the time to get indoors right now or seek shelter immediately before this hail reaches the town. Once again, to recap, we do have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon. There you see the area of concern bearing down on Schubert, where we are getting indications of some potentially large hail falling to the ground. Radar indication of a large area of 1-inch diameter hail within the storm, but that is aloft. So it is not clear if that is actually reaching the ground, but it is certainly a possibility as we see that core continuing to develop. We're also getting some indications of some pretty intense winds embedded in this storm as well, just beginning to take shape. And so we're keeping an eye on that and making sure that we don't see any signs of rotation within this storm. And right now we do not, but certainly something that we're going to be monitoring, as there does appear to be some strong wind gusts here. And this would be the area of the storm where we would expect to see rotation if and when it were to develop. So that is something that we're going to be keeping an eye out for over the duration of this warning, again in effect until 3 o'clock, and then moving forward for the rest of our viewing area. Again, the southeastern portion of the First Alert 6 viewing area under the main threat for this severe thunderstorm event, or severe weather event rather. Here in Omaha, we are expecting to see, if we take a quick look here, some showers and thunderstorms moving into the metro area right now. But the good news is right now, none of these are expected to be severe. And if they are, it would only be for some isolated reports of hail. Could still see some small hail even without a warning, but no major concerns for the metro area as this storm system pushes through. We'll back out now to the rest of the viewing area so you can get a better look at what's going on. Some additional development well to our east, and then a line of kind of disorganized storms between Omaha and Falls City developing right now. The main concern, especially down here where conditions are much warmer, there's a lot more moisture and a lot more dynamics to work with, is if these storms begin to get a little bit isolated and are able to tap into that energy without being drained by surrounding systems, we really could see rotation begin to develop, and we could see a threat of tornadoes, especially as this pushes off into northwest Missouri and southwest Iowa. And that is why to the east of this storm, we now have a tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. If you have any questions about the weather today and what to expect, feel free to share it in the comment section on Facebook or on our live chat on YouTube. We are monitoring those, so we will try and get to those when we can. But again, we will stay on here as long as these warnings remain in effect. If this warning does expire and we don't have any new warnings, we'll go ahead and leave the radar up for you, as we do expect we will be monitoring these storms as they do push into that tornado watch area that does include southwest Iowa, portions of southwest Iowa, and northwest Missouri. Right now, though, this appears to be the main show. If we switch over to the radar loop here, we see a lot of thunderstorm warnings issued to our south, with just some isolated storms beginning to develop in the Wichita area. But right now, our concern is with the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Nemaha and Richardson counties until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll go ahead and switch back over to the live First Alert radar and get you an update on that. Again, the primary threat, strong damaging winds, as well as a certainly well-defined and sustainable hail core in that right now that we continue to monitor. But the main concern right now is for that large hail that is likely falling in or near the Schubert area right now. I did see somebody ask on YouTube, is Mount Pleasant going to be fine tonight? Well, there is a potential for showers and thunderstorms that could reach severe limits for that area, and I'm going to have to check here and see. I believe Mount Pleasant is part of that tornado watch that is in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. So likely closer to after sunset before you need to worry about the storms in that area of southeast Iowa, as it will take some time for this to develop. The hope is that the tornado threat will be short-lived tonight, and eventually this will kind of congeal into a bit of a long line of bowing thunderstorms, and that will start reducing the tornado threat, but increasing the threat for strong damaging winds, especially after sunset tonight. But right now, the only warning we have in effect in our area is for Nemaha and Richardson counties. The severe thunderstorm warning will be in effect for about another 7 minutes. To anyone watching on our main stream on our website, we're going to be going offline right now, and there you will shortly see our 3 o'clock newscast on First Alert 6. But for those of you watching us on social media and on our 24/7 weather channel, we will continue with this severe thunderstorm warning and our coverage of this severe weather event ongoing in our area right now. Again, this is the only warning in the First Alert 6 viewing area right now. Not sure what the National Weather Service plans to do when it is set to expire at 3 o'clock. Based on the radar returns we've seen, and we'll see if we've got an updated hail scan here. It looks like the hail core has subsided a bit, but we have seen it pulsing up and down. So the Weather Service may decide to continue this warning if they're concerned about the overall track of this cell. You can kind of see as we go back through the scans here as it approached, it had a very well-defined area of potential hail falling as it approached Schubert. That area has now become a little bit more muddled in the radar scan. So very curious to hear if anything did in fact fall in that area within the last 5 to 10 minutes. So again, about another 5 minutes left in our severe thunderstorm warning here. We will wait to see what the National Weather Service decides to do with this warning, if they will extend it further into Missouri, or if they will just allow it to expire on its own. As we pan out here and take a look up north here, you see more showers and thunderstorms southeast of Nebraska City, west of Nebraska City. We do have showers and thunderstorms moving into the Omaha area right now that we'll be monitoring as well. But right now our focus is on the severe thunderstorm warning to our south, where this warning is now set to expire in about 3 minutes. Again, if you're joining us from the Omaha metro area, you might be surprised to hear that there's a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is magnitudes warmer and warmer to our south and east, and that is where the threat for severe thunderstorms exists. We are going to see some showers and maybe some isolated thunderstorms here in the Omaha metro area. Rain is falling in several parts of the metro right now, but again, we don't expect any significant severe weather here in the metro area as part of the storm system, as the warm air surging up from the south simply didn't make it up far enough, and we do remain south of a warm front that is draped in the area of the Iowa-Missouri border. And that is going to be the main focus of showers and thunderstorms today. And there you see, we do have a new warning issued. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 3:45 p.m. This does include portions of or communities including Corning, Fairfax, Rockport, Tarkio, and Westboro. Again, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning for the same storm we've been tracking. Will remain in effect until 3:45. This is for counties, includes the counties of Atchison and Holt counties. Again, this is for the threat of radar indicated 1-inch diameter hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds in the storm that we have been tracking here, now exiting southeast Nebraska, moving into northwestern Missouri. So new severe thunderstorm warning for Atchison County and north central Holt County in northwestern Missouri. Severe thunderstorm located near Schubert, 13 miles southeast of Auburn, moving northeast still at 40 miles per hour. Large hail and strong damaging winds, the primary threats. This does include Interstate 29 between the mile markers of 96 and 110 for anybody who may be watching us on the road right now. So this severe thunderstorm warning now just issued until 3:45, again, for portions of Atchison and Holt counties in northwest Missouri. There you see our hail core has weakened significantly according to radar. Not sure if that's because it has actually dropped some of its hail, but certainly something that we're going to keep an eye on as they have continued this severe thunderstorm warning. Taking a look at the wind, still seeing some stronger wind gusts east of the Schubert area, just about to cross the Missouri River. But again, no major signs or no strong indications of any kind of rotation in the area as we continue to see this cross over the Missouri River right now. Richard saying it looks like a hook echo. Richard, thanks for that comment on YouTube. Yeah, in some of the radar scans, it does kind of give that hook echo shape, but we're not seeing any organized rotation in that storm as you see them cutting back on the severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like they've gone ahead and issued a new severe thunderstorm warning to replace the old one, as that has not quite exited the area just yet. We'll pull that up for you here. Severe thunderstorm warning for Nemaha and Richardson counties now will continue for the area in yellow there until 3:30 this afternoon. Same threat, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch diameter hail, as that storm system continues to push off to the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. So Richard, as you were asking that it looked a little bit like a hook echo. Yeah, it kind of did. And I think part of that just has to do with the direction and the dynamics in the atmosphere right now. No indication of any rotation in the storm just yet, but that is still something that we're monitoring very closely because the dynamics are there for good rotation within these storms. And there is certainly a threat of that as it's now entering an area under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. Reed asking, is Council Bluffs going to get hit? No, we do have showers and thunderstorms in the greater Omaha metro area right now, but we do not expect any of that to reach severe limits. We could see just a sporadic warning because of some hail. But again, if you stepped outside in the metro area, you know how frigid it is out there. Not very conducive for any severe weather. Just a slight chance of perhaps seeing some hailstones, but even those likely would remain on the small side, likely below severe limits. In fact, let's take a look outside right now as the rain is falling over on 144th and Dodge. You can see a pretty good shower there. But it is a cold rain because if you see in the bottom right of your screen there, right now in downtown Omaha, we're sitting at 41 degrees. Not exactly the conditions you need for springtime thunderstorms. So just some cold rain, maybe some small hail for the metro area, but the severe weather threat is barely negligible, if at all, for the greater metro area. Back out live now to First Alert Radar as we are passing the 3 o'clock hour. You see that severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for Richardson and Nemaha County until 3:30 this afternoon as that storm is beginning to exit the area. And then that new severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect for portions of northwest Missouri until 3:45. That area also under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. As we back out and take a look further up towards the metro area, you can see a mess of showers and thunderstorms surrounding the metro area as they push through the area. If we back this out a little bit, you can see they're kind of streaking to the north-northeast as they're coming through the area. Not a total washout, but certainly a very cold rain out there. We see the additional development down here between Omaha and those severe thunderstorms approaching the Murray area. Again, not expected to become all that strong as the severe weather appears to be staying to our south for the day, as expected, as this now enters that tornado watch area. Just taking a quick look at the Missouri Department of Transportation. Unfortunately, do not see any cameras available in that area of I-29 as the storm system is passing through that area. Again, right now the primary threats appear to be strong damaging winds as well as some large hail in that area. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if that hail core is still being detected right now. And yeah, still looks a little bit weaker than we saw a few minutes ago, but still there, and could still be producing some decent-sized hail, probably just south of the Rockport area, but again, probably right along I-29 by now. If there's any hail falling in that system, it is getting awfully close to the I-29 corridor right now. Again, taking a quick look at the winds, not really seeing much of concern there other than a little bit of inflow on the right side of the storm, but no rotation happening right now as it continues to push off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. So certainly getting some indications that these storms are not really getting rooted into the surface yet, which would certainly aid their development over the next few hours. But that could still happen as we continue to monitor the threat for strong damaging winds, large hail, and possibly tornadoes later this evening across the far eastern portion of the First Alert 6 viewing area as these storms continue to push off to the east, again at about 40 miles per hour. To recap real quick, we do have a tornado watch in effect for portions of southern Missouri and southern Iowa until 10 o'clock this evening. There we go. There you see that tornado watch now in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. This does include Rockport and Maryville, as well as portions of southern Iowa, but largely avoiding the first Alert 6 viewing area as the storm system is pushing off rather quickly. And much of our area is in the cold sector of this storm system and just not expected to produce severe weather. That will largely stay to our east and well to our south as you see severe thunderstorm warnings issued further to the south. Areas of Wichita now experiencing some severe weather there as well as those storm systems continue to push through. Right now, the only warning in our area continues to be in northwest Missouri, as well as Nemaha and Richardson counties. The Nebraska side of this storm, the warning remains in effect for about another 20 minutes, but I suspect that that will be allowed to expire much sooner. And then the severe thunderstorm warning for northwest Missouri will continue until 3:45 this afternoon as this storm continues to push off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Again, we continue to monitor this severe thunderstorm warning. We are seeing that hail core kind of regenerate itself as it's now passed over the Missouri River, approaching the I-29 corridor. We're also monitoring what appears to be the first signs we've seen so far of some very, very broad rotation. This was what we were talking about earlier as we were seeing kind of this stronger inflow on the leading edge of the storm, that and the stronger green colors. Now we're seeing a little bit of wind moving in the opposite direction, represented by the little bit of red you see there. This is very broad rotation. This is not an indication that a tornado is about to happen, but it is a signal that the storm may be gaining intensity and will certainly have to be monitored to see if this broad rotation begins to tighten up and intensify over the next few minutes. So we will certainly be keeping an eye on that, but right now the main threat is going to be those stronger winds on the leading edge of the storm, and then of course this hail core, probably right over I-29 right now, that is beginning to re-intensify, so something that motorists in that area need to be alerted to. Unfortunately, no cameras in that area, no traffic cameras that we can lock into, so we will just have to rely on the radar and any reports that come into the National Weather Service from that area. Again, this is a pretty remote area, very rural, sparsely populated, so it is possible for these storms to produce severe weather and no one actually sees it. For now, certainly erring on the side of caution as the radar continues to indicate that there is the potential there for some large damaging hail and some stronger wind gusts as well. But again, as this continues to push off to the north and east, we're going to really be monitoring the wind patterns inside the storm system, as there are some minor indications that it could begin to start rotating here as it is pushing off into a more favorable area for tornadoes this afternoon and evening in northern Missouri and southern Iowa. Let's back out the radar now, and you can see that this storm system is kind of by itself along a larger line. We have this more scattered, disorganized development around the Omaha metro area, south to Plattsmouth, over by Shenandoah. All of this well below severe limits, as the warm air just really didn't get anywhere near the metro area today, as you can tell if you've been outside at all. So really just a cold, rainy mess here in the metro area right now. And the main concern for severe weather should stay to our south and east, where it is right now, along the Nebraska-Missouri border. This severe thunderstorm has been going now for about an hour and is continuing to push off, or actually well over an hour, and it continues to push off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And we're keeping a close eye on this notch area here for any signs of rotation. There did appear to be some broad rotation in here earlier, but that has now subsided. No major concerns for tornadic activity in the near future, but still remains a possibility, as that tornado watch is now in effect for portions of northern Missouri and southern Iowa until 10 o'clock this evening. let's go ahead and back out and show you a loop of how this is all developed here in the last hour. You see that severe thunderstorm pushing through southeastern Nebraska into Missouri. You see the showers and thunderstorms developing around the Omaha metro area, as well as in central Iowa. So just a real mess in areas north of the area of concern, as it's just kind of a cold rain that could still produce some small hail, but no major threat for severe weather outside of the tornado watch area. Back out now to live first alert radar as we go back to that warning to our south and east. The heaviest portion of the storm now just passing to the south of Rockport. And unfortunately not getting a lot of reports, if any, in this, because the good news is it is largely staying to the south, largely staying away from populated areas. We did see a hail core come awfully close to Schubert a little while ago, but right now, no indication, no reports at least yet of any hail damage as that storm pushed through. Just keeping an eye on these cells further to the north between that severe thunderstorm warning and Omaha. Getting some stronger returns, that could be an indication of some hail. Not really seeing much of a hail core there. Perhaps a little bit to the south of this. There you see a very small hail core. That could just be an indicator of maybe some pea-sized hail, but nothing of major concern with that cell at this time. Moving further up here, we see much of the rain now north of the Omaha metro area, but showers do continue across the metro as these thunderstorms do continue to develop over eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. Most of these should not produce any severe weather as they are well into the cold sector of this storm. The main threat would be some isolated hail, but again, no major issues being reported with those storms right now. The main concern right now does continue to be the cell here to our south and east in northwest Missouri, now back building a bit back into southeastern Nebraska. So a little bit of concern there. As we mentioned, Falls City missed out on the first portion of this severe thunderstorm, but now we're seeing some back building. It will hopefully still miss them, but does still threaten the very, very southeastern portion of Nebraska as this continues to build. That could also weaken our warned storm here a little bit as this begins to kind of regroup and reorganize here over the next hour or so. But that severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect. Greatest potential for large hail and strong damaging winds. We do see some stronger inflow gusts in these storms, but again, no rotation being detected. And then as far as hail is concerned, we were seeing two hail cores here, but very little indication right now that they are threatening any large hail. So that is the good news right now. However, that severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect east of Schubert until 3:30, and then also in northwest Missouri, that severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 3:45 this afternoon. Nick Weig again here with you from the Alert Center. We are continuing to monitor this severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Missouri until 3:45 this afternoon as this line of showers and thunderstorms begins to look a little bit more disorganized as it's kind of backbilled a little further to the south and west. We've been monitoring it for any signs of rotation, not really seeing anything organized. We continue to see some maybe broad rotation in one portion of the cell southeast of Rockport, but nothing of major concern. And then the hail cores that we've been watching travel from southeast Nebraska to northwest Missouri have weakened quite a bit right now. And that may be a lot to do with the fact that this cell has kind of begun to backbuild and producing new cores, and they're kind of fighting in tandem with each other for the available energy in the atmosphere, and so not really getting well organized. What we will have to watch out for, as this is now entering a tornado watch area, is that conditions there are conducive for severe thunderstorm and tornadic development, and if this cell can kind of remain isolated on its own and become a little bit more organized, it would be a concern as it pushes off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Of course, the good news for the Omaha metro area right now is that we do not expect any severe weather in our neck of the woods, but as you can see, the metro area is surrounded by showers and thunderstorms that are pushing through the area, moving very quickly to the north-northeast. But you also know, if you're in the Omaha metro area, that it is 41 degrees right now and very not conducive for severe weather, with the exception of maybe some small hail development in some of these stronger thunderstorms. But again, no major issues expected with this portion of the storm. That focus remains to our south and east in the warm sector of this storm system. There you see that severe thunderstorm warning. There you see the counties in red under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock as this system continues to push off to the northeast. And where we have that severe thunderstorm warning, that appears to be the greatest concern right now. As we go back to live first alert radar, there you see the core of that storm kind of becoming a little bit muddled right now. We'll have to wait and see if this becomes a little bit more organized as it pushes into northwest Missouri and southwest Iowa. That is where the greatest threat of tornadic activity lies right now, and we're just beginning to enter what's commonly known as the prime time for tornadic development, generally in the late afternoon, early evening hours. So the good news is much of this is going to be long out of our area before it becomes a problem, but for those in the extreme southeastern portion of our viewing area, obviously this is going to be a concern for the next few hours. We're going to continue to track these storms as they push through the area, but right now the only warning we have in effect is this severe thunderstorm warning stretching into northwest Missouri, south of Westboro, west of Burlington Junction, and southeast of Rockport. This warning remains in effect until 3:45. Right now it appears there's no immediate threat of any tornadoes. Right now the hail threat appears relatively low. That's the good news, and could still see some strong gusty winds, but not seeing anything of major concern. Possibly some broad rotation here you see southeast of Rockport, but nothing indicating that a tornado is about to develop. Something that, again, as this storm continues to push into a more favorable atmosphere, we are going to be watching that and see if the trends continue to push this more towards a greater threat for those in the path of it. Again, I want to thank everyone who's joining us on our 24/7 Weather Channel, as well as on our social media feeds. We want to bring you extended live coverage that you don't normally get on television for people who may be under the threat of this severe weather as it pushes through the southeast portion of our viewing area. But again, the good news right now is no clear indications of ongoing severe activity, just a very strong potential in the warned area. And then all of these showers and thunderstorms developing further to the north right now. No major concern for organized severe weather as they continue to push off to the north-northeast. Down here, closer to where the warm front is draped across northern Missouri, that is where the storms could be moving more easterly, and there is a concern that if they become rooted into that warm front, we could see some tornadic development, and that is why you see the severe thunderstorm watch now, or excuse me, the tornado watch now in effect for portions of southern Iowa, northern Missouri until 10 o'clock this evening. Nick Wegback with you as we are monitoring this severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for northwest Missouri until 3:45 this afternoon. Not seeing any signs of significant intensification within this cell, but again, the potential is still there for some strong gusty winds as well as some large hail. There you see that warning in effect for Atchison and Holt counties until 3:45. This is all radar indicated. We've had no confirmation of any strong winds or large hail. We certainly got a strong indicator earlier near the Schubert area of some 1-inch diameter hail. But again, largely because this is a very rural area, it's very possible that if any severe weather did occur, that it didn't occur anywhere where anyone may have experienced it. So certainly some good news there that fortunately, any problems so far have been in some pretty isolated areas. But again, this is the main bit of concern in our area, as it is pushing into a more conducive atmosphere for severe weather and even tornadic development later this afternoon. And so we're going to be monitoring any additional development, or if this cell will just kind of become better organized on its own, as it is kind of out isolated from the rest of the development. You see this development here from Plattsmouth down to Nebraska City, Tecumseh, Beatrice. This is likely along the trailing cold front. And right now, that is not going to be much of a concern for severe weather, with the exception of a possible strong wind gust as it pushes off to the east. But right now, the main concern is in northern Missouri and southern Iowa, as this severe thunderstorm pushes into that area over the next few hours. So we're going to continue to monitor this and bring you any updates when they come in. I'm going to go ahead and leave the radar up here on our streaming channels, and we'll pop back in for an update as soon as we get it. And good afternoon again. Nick Weig here with you as we continue to track this severe thunderstorm warning in northwest Missouri that remains in effect for just a few more minutes here. I imagine we may see, and there we go. We do have a new extension on that severe thunderstorm warning. And there is that new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. This does include Burlington Junction, Maryville, just west of Pickering, Monroe, right up to the Iowa-Missouri border. We'll back out here for just a second. Now, we've been monitoring this particular cell for quite some time. It has been just kind of hugging severe limits here as far as hail and wind is concerned. And we'll get that new information now from the National Weather Service. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 4:30 for Atchison and Nottoway counties. This does include Burlington Junction, Maryville, Nottoway, and Polk. This is still for the threat of 60-mile-an-hour winds, but now a threat of 1.5-inch diameter hail. Severe thunderstorm located near Fairfax or near Tarkio, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Ping-pong-sized hail is possible with this storm. It is beginning to slow down and maybe turning a little bit to the east, a little bit more of an easterly direction. That could be a sign that it is beginning to take root on that warm front draped right along the Iowa-Missouri border. Excuse me, and that would be certainly something that would increase the potential of a tornado threat from this particular cell. As we take a look, we do have a reorganized hail core that is now developed southeast of Rockport, getting hail detection of up to 1 inch in diameter. The National Weather Service obviously thinks that that could continue to increase over the next few minutes, so we will be keeping an eye on that. We're also keeping an eye on the wind patterns within this storm system. There you see some rotation now being detected inside the storm as it is getting more rooted, as we said, along that warm front that really adds to the parameters needed to develop rotation and ultimately develop any potential tornadic activity. So some broad rotation now being detected in the storm. Right now there is no concern for a tornado in the immediate future, but this could be a sign that the potential for tornadic development is increasing as this storm continues to push off to the northeast now at 35 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and give you an idea. Unfortunately, we are going to be running into a bit of a radar kind of dead zone between radar sites here, and so that may limit some of our scans for a while. But this is still a severe warned storm that does have the potential of producing 1.5-inch diameter hail, or about the size of a ping pong ball, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and obviously there is still an isolated chance of tornadoes. That threat could continue to increase as these storms continue to push off to the north and east. Now, there is a tornado watch that is in effect for this area until 10 o'clock this evening. This does include portions of northern Missouri and southern Iowa, the counties you see there shaded in red, and then also a severe thunderstorm watch further to the south towards Kansas City. A lot of thunderstorm activity here in the greater metro area as well. None of this is expected to be severe as very cold conditions continue here. Did not get the surge of warm weather that areas to the south of the metro area saw. And so the threat for severe weather remains extremely low, if at all, in the Omaha metro area, but still some showers and thunderstorms pushing through the area. Back now live to First Alert Radar as we're monitoring this severe thunderstorm about to enter into southwestern Iowa as well. The main concern there, you see that area shaded in purple, a pretty potent hail core beginning to take shape. And there is some concern of some 1 to 1.5-inch diameter hail there, where that core is located right now, which is, if we zoom in here, it's directly south of Westboro right now, just past the Fairfax area, and hopefully avoiding Tarkio right now, but just approaching State Highway N as it is moving to the northeast now at 35 miles per hour. Taking a look now at the wind patterns within this storm, we are seeing some indications of some broad rotation now within this storm. Again, in sort of the area we would expect to see it. Let me get my radar back up here. There we go. And it is in the area where we would expect to see any rotation in a storm like this. So that obviously raising some concern for that area right now. There you see that broad rotation. We are going to be keeping a very close eye on that, even though if it's getting muddled there in the radar scans from time to time, because the main concern with that is if this cell continues to, and there we go, we now have that new warning. Tornado warning now issued. Tornado warning now issued. We will go ahead and get that information for you here as soon as we can. As we were monitoring that rotation, it appears that the Weather Service now obviously concerned about that as well. Tornado warning now in effect for Atchison and Nottoway counties until 4:15 this afternoon. Radar indication of a developing tornado is the concern right now, as well as those hail cores. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Tarkio, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. The main concerns are tornadoes and ping-pong-sized hail. Burlington Junction, Claremont, Elmo, and Quitman are in the path of this storm. So tornado warning now in effect until 4:15 for Atchison and Nottoway counties. As this storm system continues to push off to the northeast. This is what we were concerned about, as this is where that warm front is broadly located, and the concern is as this gets rooted on that warm front, the wind dynamics are much more conducive to tornadic development. Now let's show you where that rotation is. It's a little hard to see right now as we are kind of stuck between radar beams, but there you see it just east of the Tarkio area. There is the area of concern as best as we can make out on radar right here. This is quite a distance away from the radar sites, so the radars are doing some heavy lifting here trying to detect that rotation, and because it's so far away from the radar site, it's detecting that rotation much higher in the atmosphere. But again, south of Westboro, we'll go ahead and zoom in here so you can see the roadways in that area. State Highway N now right in the thick of it as that new scan is coming in there. And you see kind of what looks like a bit of a hook on the back end of this thunderstorm, which appears to be the only one that has really kind of gotten rooted along that warm front that we've been monitoring. This is right in the heart of that tornado watch that was issued. And we're just waiting for some new scans to come in. Have not seen one quite yet, but we're going to keep an eye out for it here. But this is the area that we're concerned about a possibly developing tornado. There you see we've lost our wind scan momentarily. Hopefully we will get that back here in just a moment. We'll check back in on that. But that is the area of concern where you see those purples, and also further to the south where we're kind of seeing a bit of a hook. At this distance, I don't expect to see anything. No, we're not seeing anything on what's known as the correlation coefficient, indicating that there's any clear tornado signature inside this storm. Unfortunately, as we said, this is quite a distance away from the radar site. Here's a look at kind of the disorganized rotation we're seeing. This may be a bit of a cautionary tornado warning because, frankly, it's very hard to pick up rotation this far out on any of the radar beams. But this is what it looks like right now. So there's obviously some broad rotation in there. The concern is what is happening closer to the ground, and that is why the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued this tornado warning in effect until 4:15 this afternoon. This is also producing an immense amount of lightning, as you see there, a very vivid lightning, obviously capable of producing its own level of damage as well. If we put a loop on this, you can kind of see how it is has taken shape over the last hour or so. And as again, we go back to live radar now. That is the latest image that we have of this tornado-warned storm now in northwest Iowa. Again, this far from the radar, we're not getting any indications of strong wind gusts because frankly, the beam is probably a little too high to pick up anything going on the ground. But we are seeing clear signs of what is some broad rotation aloft in the storm, and the Weather Service, because of the location of the storm and the dynamics that are at play in this part of the atmosphere in northwest Missouri, obviously very concerned that a tornado could develop quickly in this area. Areas included in this tornado warning: Quitman, Nottoway, and Elmo. These are places where you should seek shelter immediately as the storm continues to push off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Again, tornado warning remains in effect until 4:15 this afternoon. This tornado warning does include the counties of Atchison and Nottoway in northwest Missouri. 1.5 inch diameter hail also possible in the area of this tornado warning, but the main concern now is a possibly developing tornado in this area, as radar indicated rotation had begun to intensify a little bit, and so this tornado warning was issued. This is ultimately heading for the Iowa-Missouri border here in the next half hour or so. So southern Iowa, which is also under this tornado watch until 10 o'clock this afternoon, is next in line for this tornado-warned storm. As we back out the radar now, you can see that this cell is kind of on its own a little bit, and it's really the only cell that has gotten going along the warm front. So when you have a cell like this that is kind of all by itself, that can be concerning, as there is obviously the potential that this cell could go tornadic, especially when it's left all by itself out there. We are also hoping to stay in touch with some storm chasers if they are in that area. We have not heard of any that are tracking this storm just yet, but we are keeping our eyes out for that this afternoon. Nick Weig back here with you as we're monitoring this tornado warning in Atchison and Nottoway counties. Let's go ahead and zoom back in on that for you here as we are monitoring any signs of stronger rotation in this storm system. There was some clear signs of some broader rotation, but again, this is pretty far from the radar sites, and so it's really hard to tell what exactly is going on in there. But obviously, this is concerning enough, particularly because this cell is right along a warm front that is kind of a focal point for tornadic development, that the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued this tornado warning for these counties until 4:15 this afternoon. Taking a quick look at the potential hail there you see that hail core getting much stronger now. We have seen the cloud tops well over 50,000 feet at times in this storm, so certainly a very elevated base to produce some larger hail as we're getting regular 1.1 inch reports in that large area. Again, that is the hail detected by radar aloft. That is not an indicator of the hail that's actually reaching the ground. We rely on storm spotters and storm chasers for. But again, right now, that area of rotation, that area of that hail core heading right for the Elmo and Dawsonville areas. And so this certainly has the potential of causing some damage, whether from wind or from hail, over the next few minutes in those areas. Let's take a look at the latest velocity scan inside the storm system. There you see the very broad rotation being detected by radar. Really hard to make anything out. It's just very far from the radar, and so really we're going to rely on reports coming in from storm spotters and storm chasers that may be in that area. But right now, no confirmation of a tornado on the ground. This is just radar indicated. No confirmation of large hail, but that is also radar indicated, as we've seen our strongest hail core that we've seen so far this afternoon. And again, this really just appears to be a sign that we are approaching the point where this particular storm system, and as we zoom out here, there are storms all over the place. But the key difference is up here in the Omaha Metro and points north and east, this is in the cold sector of the air mass. And so these storms really are not going to do much other than produce a cold thunderstorm, maybe some small hail, but no severe weather is really expected. And then we also have further here, we have a cold front draped behind the storm system that is moving through. Right now, that is not really producing anything in the way of severe weather. And then finally here, where we do have a warm front draped near the Iowa-Missouri border, is where the greatest concern is for severe weather, as this storm could kind of ride that warm front a little bit in this area and could easily begin to produce stronger rotation and ultimately produce a tornado. Obviously, you do see a lot of communities that are in the path of this over the next hour or so, and so that is the main concern right now. As we switch back over to velocity, we continue to get those broad reports of rotation, still not getting any ground truth, as we call it, or confirmation from spotters or chasers in that area, as this system continues to push off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. We want to go back to the live radar here. I want to take a look at something. We're going to go ahead and run this live radar image back. And there does seem to be an indication. You can kind of notice that it pushes off to the northeast, but in the last couple scans, as this has kind of developed a little bit further south, it seems to be turning a little bit more to the east, and that is an indication that it may be getting routed along that warm front, and that is a major concern. If it can do that in that warm air mass that is in that area right now, that could very quickly produce a tornado, particularly because this cell is all by itself to tap into that moisture, and so this could rapidly develop into a tornadic supercell as we continue into the afternoon hours. As we take a look again at the velocity scans coming in, still very, very broad, as we're really stuck between a couple of radar sites here. I believe we're now on I'm not sure if we're on. I guess we're still on the. Yep, we're still on the Omaha radar right now. If we switch over to Kansas, did we just switch over to Des Moines? We did just switch over to Des Moines. Let's switch over to Des Moines and see what we can. If it's getting any better indication out of this. A little bit better return there. A little bit better indication of what's going on. But again, as we move the radar around, it switches back to Omaha. But you can see there a little better indication of the broad rotation, a little better return. But this is still very extended range for both the Des Moines and Omaha radar sites. And I don't believe Kansas City is much better. We'll see if we can. I don't think I can get that one to switch, actually. So we are really reliant on some long-distance radar scans right now, and I think officially this one, Omaha, is the closest radar. I believe that is the issuing office. I believe this is Kansas City, actually. Go ahead and switch back to live radar here and see if we can get a better look at this. We may have to wait here a little bit before we can get a scan from Kansas City, but as we continue to look at this from the Omaha radar, certainly maintaining intensity quite a bit here. And there you see that hail core that we're monitoring, estimating hail of around 1 inch in diameter, perhaps a little bit larger. As we zoom out here, there you see that cell is still all by itself along the warm front, and so this is going to be the main target for any tornadic development here over the next hour or so.
How many times? More than I can count. So she said she.
Okay, we're going to take a look from the Kansas City radar if we can. It's going to be a little tricky here. And we get a little bit of a better indicator of the that rotation's certainly looking a little bit more pronounced now. Still no official reports from the ground. Let's see if we have an update on this warning here. Just getting an update now. 4:06, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Burlington Junction, 12 miles east of Tarkio. Now moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. Now that is what we were concerned about, and that is a sign that this is becoming a greater threat for a tornado. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more on this, and we'll tell you what we mean. So right now, the storm is over the Burlington Junction area, and this is where the rotation is. And the concern is that this storm is now moving to the east, as we mentioned. A clear indicator it is slowing down and changing direction because it is becoming rooted in that warm front. And this could be the beginning of a tornadic supercell as this pushes off to the east towards Nottoway and Pickering. Also gives us an indication of where that front may be. And so right now, that is the main concern in that Nottoway, Burlington Junction area south of Dawsonville is where the greatest threat for a possible tornado exists right now. There you see the velocity scans that are coming in and getting signs, more signs throughout this system of rotation. But clearly this is the main area of concern as this is now by all accounts rooted into that warm front. And this is obviously something we're going to be watching very closely, because if this becomes rooted on that front and it is all by itself like it is right now, it has the potential of really tapping into the energy available there in that warm air mass to our south and east. Taking a look at the velocity again on this, we're trying to get any good read on it we can, and we're just not really seeing any clear indications of a tornado or any damage caused by that tornado right now. But this is the main concern. This is pretty much the show that's in town right now, as this tornado warning continues to push off to the east towards Nottoway and Pickering. This warning is in effect until about another 3 minutes, and I would not be surprised if we see this reissued. Looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. We'll get some information on that here shortly. Severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Nottoway County until 5 o'clock tonight. This does include Atchison, Burlington Junction, Hopkins, Nottoway. The storm is now moving essentially to the east now at about 25 miles per hour. No indication whether or not this is going to replace the tornado warning at this time, which does expire here in about a minute and a half. But again, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 5 o'clock for Nottoway County. Okay, we are approaching the expiration time for this tornado warning. No indication that a tornado has developed, but still monitoring rotation on this cell as it's beginning to turn to the east now at about 25 miles per hour. We do have a new thunderstorm warning in effect for Nottoway County until 5 o'clock this evening. So at the moment, no indication that this tornado warning, whether it will be extended or just allowed to expire on its own, as that is set to happen here in about 5 seconds. There you see the old severe thunderstorm warning being taken off the map. And now that tornado warning has expired. We will stand by to see if the Weather Service decides to stick with this severe thunderstorm warning only, or decides to issue a tornado warning for a portion of that same area. Again, here's a loop of this storm system as it has begun to turn a little bit to the east. Taking a look at velocity, still seeing some broad rotation in there. Really hard to tell as the radar beam is quite a ways away from this storm right now. Also been keeping an eye out for any potential hail in this storm system. We have seen some pretty intense hail core returns coming in. That has now weakened, so waiting to see if this storm is again going to recycle or if it's going to fall apart, as it does look like there's a little bit of additional development in the area. Again, getting a little more muddied. And unfortunately, part of that also is because we are stuck in between a couple of radar beams here. And so that is making our view of it a little bit harder to make out. But for now, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire, and a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Nottoway County has replaced it until 5 o'clock. We'll go ahead and leave this on the screen and bring you any updates as soon as they come in. And Nick Weig back with you here as we do have a new tornado warning that has been issued with the storm that we have been watching here on the screen. This is a tornado warning for Nottoway County, northern portion of Nottoway County. This is for a radar indication of a tornado. This is in effect until 4:45 this evening. Just a couple of minutes ago, the thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Bradyville, or 12 miles south of Clarinda, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. This is, again, a radar indication of a possible tornado. This is not a confirmed tornado on the ground, but this is going to be right smack over the Atchison area. So hopefully we can get some updates from storm spotters in that area. In fact, there you see the area of rotation really just about to cross into Iowa, southeast of Clarinda, east of Highway 71, as it pushes off to the northeast. So again, a tornado warning has been issued. This is by the National Weather Service in Kansas City until 4:45, I believe. 4:45, that's right. But this is already entering southern Iowa, and that will be up to the National Weather Service in Des Moines to determine what exactly they're going to do with it. So far, they're just issuing a small severe thunderstorm warning you see just popping up on your screen. So that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Page County until 5 o'clock this evening. This does include Bradyville in southern Iowa. Thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock for Page County. This is in the far southeast portion of our viewing area in southwest Iowa. But again, you do see that rotation that has just triggered a new tornado warning, and we will see if the National Weather Service in Des Moines follows suit. Actually, this is the National Weather Service in Omaha issuing this small warning. This is the end of their coverage area. The National Weather Service in Des Moines will deal with the rest of this north of Hopkins. So we're right on the corner of three forecast offices. Kansas City has opted to go with a tornado warning. Omaha has opted to go with a thunderstorm warning, and then we await to see what the National Weather Service in Des Moines decides to do with this, if they go with a thunderstorm or a tornado warning. This has also been part of the reason why we're very unclear about what's going on with this storm, and I think that these tornado warnings have been issued out of abundance of caution because it is right in the middle of three radar beams, and all three are scanning into this from a distance, and so kind of creating a little bit of uncertainty at exactly what's going on in that severe thunderstorm. So again, we now have the tornado warning in effect until 4:45 for Nottoway County, and now we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:45 for Page County in southern Iowa. So we continue to monitor this. We'll switch back over to the radar scan, and you'll see the intense hail cores that are possibly right over Atchison right now. We'll take a closer look at that here. Not likely producing significant hail, but could be some hail approaching the 1-inch diameter range in that area. But again, a very intense cell that we've been tracking now for a couple of hours as it's made its way from Nebraska into Missouri and now making its way into southern Iowa. And this is, we believe, right along or near the warm front, and that is the biggest concern right now, because that could really fuel these storms as they continue to push off to the east, fortunately out of our area. Further to the west, we do have some showers and thunderstorms continuing to develop along the cold front, but they're really not amounting to much as this area has become very stabilized, well away from the warm sector, which is off to our south and east. As we move up here to the north, you see more showers and thunderstorms in the Denison and Harlan area, none of these at risk of becoming severe. More showers and thunderstorms between Des Moines and Waterloo, those not becoming severe either, all in kind of the cold sector. But this one cell all by its lonesome is in that rooted area. And so obviously some serious concern that this does have the capability of producing a tornado, or at the very least some large hail and strong damaging winds. As Switching back over to velocity mode now, there you see that broad rotation being detected by the radar site in Omaha. Really hard to make out exactly what's going on because we are stuck between all these beams. There you see what it looks like from the Des Moines radar. Very, very muddled, kind of outside of its range. And so Des Moines is now taking a beat here to decide what they're going to do with this severe thunderstorm as the National Weather Service in Kansas City has opted to go with this tornado warning. The National Weather Service in Omaha has opted to go with this small thunderstorm warning you see in Page County. And then we are waiting to see what the National Weather Service in Des Moines does for the greater Bedford area as the storm continues to push off to the northeast. Here, we're going to put this into a loop for you so you can kind of see the last 2 hours of this storm streaking across Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa. Really on its own, kind of skirting off to the east a little bit, likely hugging that warm front. And if it continues to do that, then there is some real concern as this approaches the I-35 corridor that it could become much more organized. But again, we are just waiting to see if that in fact happens. Right now, it does still have a tornado warning on it for Nottoway County that you see there in northern Missouri, right along the border with Iowa. And as we're kind of bouncing between radar sites here to get kind of the best vantage point of it. Right now, I think we're getting the best look from Omaha, but it's really touchy right now because we are stuck between all of these radar sites at this time. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued by the National Weather Service in Des Moines. They are opting not to go with the tornado warning. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Taylor County until 5:15 this afternoon, so about another 45 minutes. Right now, they don't expect any severe wind gusts, but they are still monitoring the threat of 1-inch diameter hail, as well as the possibility of an isolated tornado. However, that risk, according to the Weather Service in Des Moines, is not great enough to go ahead and issue a tornado warning. So a severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Taylor County until 5:15 this afternoon. There you see that tornado warning has been canceled. As the rotation has become a little bit more broad, and at least in the immediate future is not of a major concern at this time. Let's go ahead and take a look at that velocity scan here. Still seeing some rotation there, but nothing that appears to be organized, and I would imagine the Weather Service may have gotten some eyes on this with some storm spotters confirming that there is no immediate risk of a possible tornado. So right now, we just have this amalgam of severe thunderstorm warnings trying to act as one between three forecast offices. So the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Nottoway County, Page County, and Taylor County for various times between now and 5:15. We should see this then push off to the northeast, and at this time, for the last hour or so, it has really struggled to maintain or actually intensify. And that has likely prevented any tornadic development, which is the good news. But right now, that is the only warning in the area. We'll continue to monitor it, and we will bring you updates as soon as they come in. Nick Wag back here with you as we have been monitoring this severe thunderstorm warning that is still in effect for Taylor County in southern Iowa. We have not received any new reports of severe weather, and as you see, it is now 5:15, and that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. So far, no indication that the National Weather Service in Des Moines is going to continue that or issue a new warning. So that has expired. That was the last warning in our area as part of this. We do still have plenty of showers and thunderstorms remaining in the area, but these are all on the cold side of the storm system and are not expected to produce any severe weather. After this line moves through, we should be in for a quiet night across the Omaha Metro as well as the greater viewing area here. Tornado watch does continue to our west, or to our east rather, until 10 o'clock. And severe thunderstorm watch further to the south. Now it appears that a new watch will be issued out in Illinois as tornado warnings have begun going up near Peoria. And we looks like the bulk of the severe weather activity is going to probably be on the eastern side of this watch now as things have quieted down in our area, and the bulk of the energy and the instability has now pushed well off to our east. So just recapping, that tornado watch does remain in effect for portions of the southeastern portions of our viewing area until 10 o'clock. I do expect that it will likely be allowed to expire before that time. And checking back at what we saw during this brief severe weather event in our area this afternoon, all hail is what we've received. One report coming out of Nebraska. We received a report of, I believe it was 1-inch diameter hail in Schubert. As we were showing you, there was a very significant hail signature right over the town, and sure enough, that did verify as a 1-inch hail report there. Also, 1.75-inch or golf ball-sized hail reported in Fairfax. That was at around 3:30 this afternoon as that severe thunderstorm rolled through. Also, a 1-inch hail report in Tarkio. As that hail core continued to roll to the north and east. Another 1-inch hail report in the same area. And then the last report's a 1-inch hail report in Clearmount around 4:10 this afternoon. And the last report of hail from this severe thunderstorm was a 1.5-inch hail report, about ping pong ball sized, in Bedford in southwest Iowa. So those are the only storm reports that we received from this severe weather in this particular thunderstorm that is now pushed off out of our area. So one more time, let's take a look at live first alert radar. As you see, the thunderstorms moving out the area, no longer severe, and the threat now appears to be moving well off to our east as we zoom out here and show you the radar loop here as warnings now firing well off to our east in Illinois, and the area is now being monitored for ongoing severe weather now out of our viewing area. That tornado watch officially still in effect until 10 o'clock for the counties shaded in red, but I would imagine that will be canceled early for the counties in our viewing area. So that will do it for our severe weather coverage for this afternoon. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on the live channel, as well as on our 24/7 streaming channel. Again, you can get weather anytime here on our 24/7 streaming channel. And when conditions break out, we will break in here on our social media channels and our 24/7 channel as needed. Until then, I'm Nick Weig at the Alert Center in Omaha. Thanks for joining us.